Welcome to Cinemagna. In today's video, we will showcase the star-studded UK launch event of Paramount Plus streaming platform. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel to be notified when new videos are released. A host of big-name celebrities turned out for a dazzling launch party for a platform, attempting to break into an already crowded streaming landscape. With a big-budget launch in London on Monday, Paramount Plus made a splashy entry into the UK streaming battlefield. The event in London's newly opened alternate development, hosted by Graham Norton, was part of what Paramount has billed as its biggest and most ambitious marketing campaign in the UK, and saw a slew of A-list stars and A-list series and films wheeled out ahead of the platform's launch in the UK and Ireland on Wednesday. Among the shows given a hero's welcome were 1883, Halo, The Offer, Tulsa King, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, The Man Who Fell to Earth, George and Tammy, and The First Lady, while actors such as Kevin Costner, Jessica Chastain, Viola Davis, David Oyelowo, Michael Shannon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Gillian Anderson appeared on stage to give a wave and present their newest works, sometimes via a solitary, tightly scripted line. The biggest applause went to Sylvester Stallone, the only guest to completely ignore the autocue and go completely off script as he introduced Tulsa King, a script he joked arrived when he was sulking at home and when, at 75 years old, he was going to be effing dead soon. Without much further ado, please enjoy the Paramount Plus launch event video.
Dare I say anything but perfect? No, it's great, it really is, because it's nice to have something good to talk about. Actually, the thing is, they let you go free on this. It gets, the writer is Terry Winter, he did Boardwalk Empire, whatever. The main thing is that you show all sides. So it's dark, it's light, it's interesting, it's insightful at times, and I have a daughter who doesn't forgive me, so that's going to be a lot of episodes just getting her back into the family here.
Well,
I mean, good.
It's really a show about a family, a way of life that still happens in America. Ranching, it's very unglamorous, but we've managed to, well, in this particular thing, we've mimicked some of the biggest landowners that are in that business, and so there's the helicopters and the things like that that are very, very real. But at the roots of it, it's still pushing cows with horses. And that work is still being done in America. And so then we kind of jazz it up with a really dysfunctional
We're
thing.
launching Paramount Plus.
And it's the great place to see our new series, George and Tammy. Well, our new series is about George Jones and Tammy Wynette, and two icons of country music, about their love story, about their tumultuous relationship, and the incredible music that they made.
And we sing songs.
Yeah, we actually do the we do the music.
We do it.
I've spoken before. We sing the songs.
It was intimidating. We had a lot of practice. So we had a great vocal coach, singing coach, Ron Browning, who helped us for a few months before we got started. But yeah, it's really hard to sing like these people, but we did our dams. Yeah.
Well, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner's gonna be here.
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Yep. And,
Maybe the Stallone
Sly Stallone. Yeah.
might be here. Rocky.
Yeah, that's exciting.
But I mean, most exciting is Michael Shannon, obviously.
We started to have fun with it actually once we got over the initial trepidation. You know? Yeah, because we worked real hard on it, and the harmonies are just so beautiful. And once we found the right blend, it was just very enjoyable. I think Two-Story House, when they sing that together, that's gonna be pretty cool. Because that's a song that Tammy wrote, you know. So it's a really great scene in the show.
Yeah, and they built the Quonset hut, which is this famous recording studio where George and Tammy recorded a lot of their music. We kind of built it from scratch in our studio, so it was
a very faithful recreation.
And I'm excited about the First Wives and First Ladies. I think it's First Ladies, right? First Lady. Excited about Halo and seeing that show, and I think a few of them. I think it's a really great array of shows. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much. The Man Who Fell to Earth is our show, which tells the story. Really, it's the continuation of the film The Man Who Fell to Earth from the 1970s. It starred David Bowie. It's the story in this iteration, story of Faraday, who arrives on Earth for the same reason as Thomas Jerome Newton arrived on Earth in that film, which is to try and save his home planet of Anthea. To do that, he has to enlist the help of one person on planet Earth, which is a scientist, a brilliant scientist, Justin Falls, played by Naomi Harris. And together they will attempt to save both Anthea and perhaps Earth itself.
Oh, it was an amazing experience. It really was. I mean, it was tremendous amounts of hard work. I've never worked on a project as long as this one. It was 8 months, but it's extraordinary because, you know, Alex Kurtzman and Jenny Lumet, who are the creators of the show, it was really their baby that they've lived with and nurtured for like years. And there's so much passion and love that's gone into it, and it's made it incredibly special experience.
They're
Now leave their couch.
Yeah, it's good. It's one of those things that you can't quit watching. You're going to be watching every episode constantly.
This is a binge. This is
all right on.
Oh,
you think we're going to go? This is a binge.
Oh,
fest?
it's a binge fest for sure.
So.
An appointment to view.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 10-hour movie. Yeah, there's so many great shows that are coming out.
1932.
1932, they're going to start filming. It's going to be coming later on, I guess, in a year or so.
Which is the Dutton family.
The Dutton family.
Do you know about that, right?
Which is
You don't?
No. Well, 1883 was us, and then 1932 jumps ahead to 1932, and now it's got Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren in it. So
they
play. Helen Mirren plays Faith, and then
plays Margaret. Not
plays
me.
Margaret, and then Harrison Ford plays my character.
Yeah,
later on. So it's pretty interesting.
And then there comes Kevin.
Yeah, and then so
I wanted to get involved because the scripts are absolutely sensational. They're phenomenal. They're like everything I like. And it's because it had CHEWETEL, EJIOFOR and Naomi Harris in it, and I've worked with both of them before and had a very nice time, so it was nice to see them again. I'm excited about it, and I do watch things, you know, and it's amazing now. I fell asleep the other night going like that, you know, trying to find something on Netflix and Amazon, and I woke up like that. You know, because it takes me a while to find things, so I'm excited that there's new stuff coming. And as a human being, it's also great to have a long-form format to explore, you know, all the crucial, urgent things, as does this show, but in an entertaining way. He hastened to add. I didn't step into David Bowie's shoes, but it was good to play the same part because, you know, and I did meet David Bowie on a couple of occasions, and he came from very near where I come from, so I am obscurely proud about that, and I admired him tremendously, like most people. And I think it was a huge loss when he died. But it's good to be mentioned in the same breath, frankly. It was great to work with CHEWETEL because I know CHEWETEL very well. He's a good friend of mine, and we've worked together before. We did a theatre show some years ago, which was a very big experience for everybody, and it was just great. And he's fun, and we have a laugh, you know. And it was very sweet to be working with him on a substantial basis.
So Bass is a character who the Lone Ranger was actually based on, but unfortunately he was whitewashed out of history. He was born into enslavement, went on to fight in the Civil War, then escaped to the Indian Territory, learnt the Native American languages and skills, which ended up being applied to his career as a lawman, and had the most prolific career, 3,000 arrests in his career, and someone whose exploits are truly legendary. We're doing it as a 6-part miniseries, so basically a 6-hour movie. Well, I'm getting to produce and make Bastards with Taylor Sheridan. I think he's doing a truly phenomenal job of building that platform. I mean, you know, Yellowstone is an amazing show. 1883, I think, is just so poetic and lyrical and massive in scope and scale. Mayor of Kingstown was another show starring Jeremy Renner that I loved. I just saw Jessica Chastain, who I know is doing a show called Lioness with Michael Shannon, and Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. I mean, these are movie stars doing episodic grand storytelling that people who are watching Paramount Plus are going to be beneficiaries of. Now, back in the day when you watched Ben-Hur or Lawrence of Arabia, that was epic storytelling, but you put a 3-hour, 4-hour film in front of people now, they're like, oh gosh, but you let them binge something that's 6 to 10 hours, they're all in. So I think it's just the reframing of it. Maybe it's just a mental leap people need to take to engage with the storytelling a little bit longer, but look, we'll take it. I'm a beneficiary.
Yeah, sure. I feel responsibility, but mostly I feel excitement, you know, to get it out to the audience. We had our big release in the U.S. and there's a lot of excitement around that. A lot of opinions, both good and bad, you know, we'll take them all. It's nice to hear the feedback. I'm just excited to get it out to a new group of people, you know, UK and I think a big swath of Europe as well. Oh, it is absolutely just the beginning. First season is obviously just the setup. Second season has already been ordered, it's being written, and we'll be back in production shooting soon. 1883, I would love to check out eventually. You know, I think Yellowstone's a really well-created show, so you know, I want to see where they're going with that. Anything Sly Stallone does, I'm curious about, so I'll check that out. Obviously, there's a huge fond spot for the children's programming for my kids. I have 10 and a 13-year-old, so you know, we're big SpongeBob fans in my house.
It's always daunting to do a real person or a historical figure, and especially someone you know, who is so revered like Betty Ford, and I actually did not know all that much about her, other than, of course, I knew about her substance abuse issues, and I knew about the Betty Ford Clinic, which is an incredible accomplishment, but there was also so much more to her, and as I got into the research, and fortunately there were, you just look for anything. She gave a lot of speeches, she did a lot of interviews, she wrote books, there were books about her. You know, I didn't really want for information, and then of course I worked with the dialogue coach, and then of course you know, there's the makeup and hair people and the costumes who bring so much to it. My experience about being sort of thrust into the public eye, and you don't really know what you're getting yourself into, and then you're there, and it's very overwhelming. And for me, I grew up in the public eye. I learned how to act in the public eye, and for Betty, her learning curve was also incredibly steep, because, you know, suddenly becoming the First Lady within a year, and not expecting it, not having your husband actually run for office, was, I think, a lot for her to get used to. Well, for me, it's always important to get it all right. And it was very important for me to get her story as right as I could. Of course, a lot of it is fictionalized because one never really knows what goes on behind closed doors. And, you know, it was very important. The addiction and the recovery was, I know, as most of us do, we know someone in our lives who has struggled with addiction, who has maybe gone through treatment, has perhaps been a part of an intervention, and I felt I was very nervous about getting that right. and not sensationalizing everything, and in the same way, in the way that we treated breast cancer, you don't want to, you don't want to, again, sensationalize it, but you do want to, you don't want to hold back either. Dancing with a martini shaker doesn't take a lot of talent. It just takes a lot of guts, I think, and a director who was enjoying it so much that I don't know, I think I must have done 40 takes of that dancing with the martini shaker. Yeah, and the dancing with Jerry, that sort of more kind of ballroom dancing, we worked with someone, a choreographer on that. Christine and I spoke on the phone early on. She was the first person to start, really, and Betty's story was the first story. This was shot in 3 different chunks. It was shot in kind of 3 little movies, and then in the editing room they wove it together. But we talked a lot about, we worked with the same dialect coach, we talked a lot about her speech, about her history. We talked a lot about the script because the script was still being developed as it continued all along the way. And then once we started shooting, that was kind of it. We were really, for all of us, because there was really no time to do anything else. I was so excited to, be in something. I mean, I would say work with them, but we really didn't work together. And I admire them both so much, and it's such an honor to have, to be asked to be a part of this project. And it was shot in Georgia, and I don't live in Georgia, so I was home and I was doing other things while they were shooting. So no, I didn't. So it was really fun for me, and I didn't read actually their parts. They really just sent us our parts, and so watching the show, I've been able to enjoy it and discover it like the public, and it's extraordinary. They're both so extraordinary, and it's so beautifully directed, and it's by Suzanne Baer, and it's so beautifully woven together, and it looks amazing. It's really it was a tremendous amount of work, and really under budgeted and really under scheduled. It was a massive amount of work, and I'm very, very proud of how it turned out. But it was really a very female-driven piece about driven women, and it really is more about the female relationships, and watching these 3 women and with 2 of them not necessarily welcome the idea of being thrust into the White House, and watching them manage that and find their voices, and then learn how to nurture those voices and how to use their platform then to really encourage other women to use their voices in the same way. And it's and I think the relationships with the daughters are also very, very strong in all of these 3 stories. Well, I think that she is, first of all, she was one of our most popular first ladies ever, and people loved that she just spoke the truth, and she talked about every taboo subject matter of the time, and she, if it's because of her that she saved hundreds of thousands of women's lives, because she was so honest and open about her own breast cancer, and she saved hundreds and thousands, millions of people's lives because she was so open and honest about her struggles with addiction. Of course, founding the Betty Ford Clinic, She was, she supported the gay community. She fought for the Equal Rights Amendment ratification. I mean, she was the worst Republican. I mean, she was, a pro-choice Republican first lady who took on women's rights issues and just stirred up all kinds of trouble. And she did it in such a kind of innocent way. She had these Midwestern values, and she just felt like it was her duty to speak her truth and to really stand up for people who didn't necessarily have a voice. It's quite a legacy.
I hope it'll be an insider's look at the American kind of wonderland, or sort of our royalty in a way, much like, we spend a lot of time looking at, UK royalty in our particular case. I think, it's a very sort of naturalistic, view into, like, if these walls could talk, what would we actually see inside of that White House? And so I hope that they'll like it. So Viola Davis plays Michelle Obama, which is so exciting, and Michelle Pfeiffer plays Betty Ford, and Gillian Anderson plays Eleanor Roosevelt. And it was just a dream cast to be able to put together, and we're so excited that, they've just embodied these parts like we can't even believe. And frankly, the guys are amazing too. Kiefer Sutherland is playing a president, and Aaron Eckhart's playing a president, and Oti Fagbenelli, and it's just been an incredible, group of people to work with, and a total walk down history lane too. Well, it's been a great company to work with. I mean, I've really enjoyed, every bit of working with the Showtime team and now the Paramount Plus team, and it just feels like it's the happening place to be now. And that's really cool, right? To be on the cutting edge of a new streamer launching internationally is really exciting, and fun to be a part of it. Yeah, Susanna's amazing. I mean, I think her big talent happens in the room with the actors on stage, where she creates a sense of sort of verite reality that allows them to do anything that they want to do, and she builds a 360-degree set so that every way they go can be part of the story, and that's very unusual. I've never seen it before. Well, I'm in the middle of Yellow Jackets, which I love, so that's really exciting, and I need to watch Man Who Fell to Earth, and yeah, I just need to catch up. All I do is work. I don't know, but I'm going to watch it.
It's a great night. I mean, it's phenomenal, right? Viacom has put on an incredible night for us here in London. Bring all these amazing shows and all of our talent from all of our shows, so we're super excited. So exciting night. We're really, really happy to be here, and excited for the shows to launch in a few days. I think, look, the whole thing is Paramount's history in the movie end, so you're going to get blockbuster movies, you're getting blockbuster TV shows. Big name talent, big stars, exciting stories. So I think really they're going to elevate the sort of streaming service opportunities here, which we're super excited about.
Kevin Costner, Stallone, Jessica Chastain, Michael Shannon, David OYELOWO right there.
Exciting stuff coming up with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, which will come up, which we start shooting this summer. So look, it's exactly what I think they're going to show on the service, which is bringing, we have a sort of conversation we always have internally as, between the network and 101 and all of our talent, which is we're not making TV, we're making 10-hour movies. And that's really, I think, what Paramount here stands for. So if I do that, then there wouldn't be any excitement. I can't give the stories away. Kiki, you want to do that?
The fans will see some amazing trailers today. We're going to reveal some, so they will be seeing that of our new show.
So you'll see some great footage. You'll see everything. We're bringing Yellowstone here to the UK and across the globe in a big way. So it's finally exciting with 15 million fans in the US. We're excited to see how the rest of the world plays out with it, which is great. And really, I think sort of the content is incredible. A lot of the stories are, very familiar, about family, about honor, about respect, about survival. So some really great storylines that we're excited about. Absolutely. So it'll be exciting. We're excited to see it. I am too. So it'll be fun.
In the UK.
The launch of the yes.
We're having a few shows on there. So we've obviously come to
All-Star Show brand new to Paramount Plus.
Yes. Coming on the 30th of what?
29. So even sooner.
It's like 10 times worse than Geordie Shore. It's not worse. It's 10 times better.
It's edited a lot better. Basically, Joey and the Geordies.
Oh my god, it was incredible.
Joey's trained the Geordies.
I think I'm going to move up.
There was a lot of challenges. It wasn't just about drinking. So it was good. There was relationships formed.
And then he broke my leg. I had to get stretched off. So
I weren't in a relationship.
Do you know what, right? It's something that TV hasn't seen before. You've got Love Island, you've got Geordie Shore, you've got The Challenge. Get all of that and put it into that show. Yeah. That's all in one show. What is it? There's one called Ginny and... Is it Ginny and something? I think I seen something advertised the other day and I was really excited.
want it?
Yeah.
There's Yellowstone as well, that's on there, I know that.
Yeah.
That's exciting to see that. I'm also excited to see when she turns up from all the shows tonight as well.
Can't wait to see all the famous people. I know, I'm gonna ask myself.
You can tell we don't get out much, can you? Viola Davis, Michelle Pfeiffer, Sylvester Stallone. Not that I've done my homework or anything. I've forgotten what her name is.
I know even you've definitely researched all these.
I've been watching Paramount Plus UK Instagram all day seeing who's turned up.
Well, I think we're celebrating the advent or the establishment in the UK of what I have no doubt will be the top streaming service in the world very shortly. Well, with my animated series, Prodigy, they're going to love it because the Brits love their kids and they love their Sunday mornings resting, the mums and the dads, right? So they're going to turn on the television and they're going to see a cartoon called Star Trek Prodigy. And it's going to be about 5 very odd creatures and one hologramic Captain Janeway, who was a very decorated captain of Starfleet in her day. She's on this defunct starship. These 5 crowd into it. They are facing abject peril, and she appears. And she says, if you listen to what I say, and you stop being reckless, and you stop being pugnacious, we're going to get off this planet, and you're all going to be saved. And it's a huge adventure in friendship, in trust, in hope, and finally, of course, in love.
This sounds like fun for all the family, a real appointment to view, you know, I can see.
Well, it's going to be great because the Star Trek Prodigy children will be sitting next to their mothers who watched me in Star Trek Voyager, and she will be sitting next to her mother who watched Next Generation, and if there's one very great-grandpa, they'll be watching the original series with Bill Shatner. So it's going to be intergenerational, and I think it's going to be thrilling. Wonderful. Even the man who fell to Earth alone has the brilliant, I really think he's brilliant, CHEWETEL EJIOFOR, NAOMI Harris, and the divine, and I say this with absolute authenticity, Bill Nighy. And you have the ladies from First Lady. You've got Viola Davis, whom I worked with. I was her chief of staff when she played Michelle Obama. And you've got Michelle Pfeiffer, you've got Gillian Anderson, you've got everybody. It's great. Well, I'm excited to see Jessica Chastain and Michael Shannon. I just saw them. I want to see what they're up to. And of course, I love to see Kevin Costner. He is the single most attractive man.
Excited to bring Halo here to the UK for the first time with Paramount Plus, new streaming service. No, it's thrilling to be here. This is amazing. Well, you know, it's the sort of epic Halo world that people know from the games, but a really sort of interesting take on Master Chief and John and his search for humanity. So we're excited to bring the Master Chief and the Spartans and the Covenant and all of those things to the UK.
It's really good. I live here, so it's just a very quick commute, and for once I don't have jet lag on a blue-red carpet, which is really nice. So yeah, it's exciting. I play Dr. Halsey in Halo, which, as lots of people know, is a video game that's been adapted for television, and it's a huge multiverse of different storylines, and we're about to go into season 2. I always think it's difficult when you're living in a global universe and only some people get to see something that everyone else is talking about. So I'm very happy that those things are.
It's the launch of Paramount Plus. Celebration of the fun shows that are going to be coming on Paramount Plus. Our show is Yellow Jackets, a fun story about a plane crash and a fun story about it's like the funnest story about a plane crash you'll ever see.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, I'll never get over it. I'll never get over the reception that we've gotten for this show. I think I'll probably think about that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I think there's a lot of twists and turns and fun mysteries in the show. It's a great, very big cast with a lot of amazing women. There's a lot to look forward to. I mean, I found myself last season just reading the scripts, oh my god, I can't believe it. So hopefully people have that experience watching.
Well, obviously, I'm looking forward to hopefully saying hi to Viola Davis.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and comment on the video if you enjoyed it. Click and watch our suggested video playlist right now for more entertaining videos. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released.